It would help if I turned my mic on. Hi, everybody. So, I have been really busy in a very good way, and lots of things have been happening. So, I just wanted to give you a fun update on everything that's going on. And I know that it's a crazy time to broadcast, but it's going to be recorded and put on YouTube anyway. So it really doesn't matter what time I record or go live. And who knows, maybe someone needs to see me and hear me at this time. It's 2 a.m. my time, and I'm central time zone in America, but it's a big world. You never can tell who needs to hear what at what time. So just remember, it's always the perfect time. I have been pulling a lot of late nights and early mornings and trying to get my rest where I can. Some very exciting, fun things have been happening and very intense spiritual growth. So, manifesting is sometimes hard work, and sometimes it's really emotional hard work. So, I ask the universe questions, and the universe always delivers really great answers. I don't know if I'm always ready to hear the answer and process the answer and do something productive with the answer at first. I think I'm a normal human being in that I'm stubborn and I get scared. I get nervous and maybe sometimes I procrastinate. And I think that's normal. So I wanted to know what I could do about my nerves when things are manifesting. They don't always go at your exact pace, they have their own time. And I'm a very impatient person normally, and I've been learning how to be patient. And it's a challenge. I think I'll get better at it over time, but I definitely have to say that it's interesting. So let's recap. I've been concentrating on taking things a day at a time, sometimes an hour or two at a time, because there's an overwhelming, monumental amount of work to do. And I just have to face it with grace and composure and do what is necessary to get to the next step. So you can't rush it. You got to go through each step. So as I'm going toward my goal and I'm seeing my goal manifest, it's creating a lot of emotions. And I'm having to process these emotions as they come up. So, what do I mean by this? Let's get into some details. So, when you want something, it might be because you're very excited by an idea or the idea of possessing a certain object. It might be starting a business, writing a book, starting a new job, buying something, going on a vacation. It can be any number of things that could be a desire, a dream, a goal. And then the opposite is true. Like those are things that come from a positive place. You could want something because it would be like the solution to a problem you've been having. It could be the opposite of the mess you're in. It could be you don't like where you live for various reasons and you want to move. So sometimes a desire, a want, comes out of a need. Sometimes it comes out of your imagination. So there are different reasons that you might be motivated to want something. But no matter what, no matter where this desire comes from, the want is always a deep, aching longing. It feels desperate in some way, that you just want it to magically appear before you, and you want everything to happen very quickly because you want to change the way you feel. So Abraham and transurfing, they have two different ways of describing this. Abraham says that when you experience something you don't want, you immediately fire off what she calls, or what they call, a rocket of desire. And you fire off these rockets into the what reality transurfing calls the alternative space, what Abraham calls the vortex. So you fire off these rockets and they go into like a holding space. And you can't see it during your current manifestation of human unless you learn how to, I guess, vibrate at that frequency. And when you match that frequency, things show up and you start to see them in the physical world. They do exist before they manifest in the physical world, but source needs time to make alignments happen and make people come together and coordinate. And this is, I find interesting. Quantum physics has proven this. So by math and science and practical application and scientific experimentation, we now understand entanglement. And we understand that things do pop in and out of our plane of existence and then go somewhere else. And we can see them and then we can't, and then we can see them again. So it makes total sense that this is based in science. And you can read about it. It's just true. It's our reality. This does happen. So when you think of a desire, you are creating it in the alternative space first, the vortex first. And that holds the energy for you until you can match that energy and it manifests in the real world. And I used to think of it as like materializing, or I'd stumble upon it. I think transurfing has a better way of putting it. Your desire, your want, your need is an inner desire. And other people, everyone that you meet, everyone on the planet, each one of us has our own inner desire. Completely valid, completely equal to everyone else's. Whatever you want is what you want. There's no judgment. That's just what you want. And that's what's inside of you. There's a second part of wanting, of manifesting, of energy, and that is the outer manifestation, motivation, desire, whatever you want to call it, the intention. So let's call it an inner intention and an outer intention, and that's what transurfing calls it. This is important. Let's remember the word intention. When you have an inner intention that is specific, you have to go through a process of letting it go to source so that source takes it and makes it an outer intention. And an outer intention will be coordinated and will find matching frequencies of other people with the same inner intention. So your inner intention is going to be matched with other people's inner intentions by source. And you are brought together, and we usually call it serendipity. When we bump into people and we have things in common with them, they can help us, we can help them. We call that serendipity. So that we call it alignment. If you're talking about what Abraham is explaining, it's alignment, getting into alignment and allowing. And transurfing calls it coordinating, coordinating inner and outer intentions. So there's many ways to say this, but we all end up in the same spiritual place. We end up attracting what we are. And what we are is the frequency of vibration that we are emitting at any given moment. So if I am emitting an emotional frequency, a vibration of want and desire, it's tinged with a little desperation. And that doesn't always allow people to actually come to your aid. You don't always attract solid people ready to do something if you're a little bit desperate. So wanting and desiring is step one, but you can't stay there. If you stay there, you'll stay stuck and you'll just churn that wheel forever, never reaching into the vortex and bringing it to you. You won't attract it because you're not in alignment with it. So what is step two? Step two is going through a little process that transforms what you want into what you know you're allowed to have. And then we get to step three, which is intention. It seems easy enough that you just go from wanting and needing something, desiring it, to knowing that it's really yours, and then intending something. But those are just words. And the actual emotional and psychological process that you go through on your way from wanting to intending, it's the sticky middle that matters. Because once you get to intention, you're calm, you're collected, you just know. You're very peaceful, you're at ease. But in that middle portion, it's a lot of frustration, anxiety, worry, and the only thing that gets you through that moment, that little blip, is hope. You find hope through desperation. You find faith through desperation. And after you get acquainted with hope and you let hope reside in your heart and you match that frequency of hopeful gratitude, the hope slides into gratitude and the gratitude slides into a calm, peaceful internal knowing. And then you're ready to set some intentions. So if you try to like short circuit this process, you try to speed it up, you try to skip ahead, you're not processing all of your emotions. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not fast. It's thoroughly enough. So you're not processing what you need to process when you need to process it. You're not giving it enough time. And the universe is kind. It'll just make you go back to step one. So you're going to try and skip a step and the universe will say, nope, sorry, you're not ready. Go back and try again. It's very frustrating. It's very aggravating. It's very nerve-wracking. But once you get the hang of it, it's very easy. Well, it's easy intellectually. I don't think it'll ever be easy emotionally because we have to process these blocks. So they're going to be emotional. It's just what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to try not to advertise too directly. Had some good lemonade. But if anybody knows this cup because you're from Texas, I wouldn't mind being sponsored and being able to turn this cup around and say thank you. This brought to you by one of my favorite restaurants in Texas that has a lot of 24-hour locations that happen to be orange and white. That's all I'm saying. We eat a lot of this amazing wow burger. Okay. Anyway. So let's go back to, if you're struggling with the feelings of anxiety and desperation, you've got a problem that needs a solution. You've got a feeling that you would like to change. And you're feeling pretty low. You know what you want because you clearly see what you don't want. And you know that whatever it is you want would make your life better. Perfect. You might have to get more desperate before you're willing to humble yourself and work through your ego to get to a hopeful place. And if you fake it, if you try to be confident and you try to be assertive or elated or excited, or you just try to pump yourself up and you do your affirmations and you're just thinking positive and you're telling everybody your plans, and it that's going to crumble. That is a sign of desperation. The universe knows it. The universe has the plans, not you. You take tiny micro steps of action every day. And sometimes you can take a lot of steps in a day, and sometimes you can only take a couple. They need to be divinely inspired. Otherwise, you might be spinning your wheels and getting nowhere. You might be going in the wrong direction. If you want this to roll out like a red carpet and manifestation to be easy, you need to get centered and you need to calm your feelings and quiet your thoughts so you can be guided. And that's really in between wanting and desiring and being hopeful about it, right before you get to knowing and intending. You're going to go through emotions that are a part of your shadow self. And so anytime you want something, you want your life to improve in some way, you want to be a better person for some reason, these are good motivations. These are good reasons for you to want to change. But the blocks that you're putting up between yourself and what you want, those are those emotional places where you have hidden your trauma. And your body never forgets. Every cell of your being remembers everything you've been through because of entanglement. Quantum entanglement means it lives inside of you, not just in your mind. You're a roadmap of everything that's ever happened to you. Every second of your life is recorded in every cell of your being. And every single cell has a place marker for a memory somewhere else that we can't see in the space that everything comes from when we manifest. So if you have a quantum entanglement with trauma from your past, then that is blocking your ability to attract something else that would be healthier for you. And you probably need it because you're too busy having an anchor to something that was traumatic and it's taking up too much energy. It's pulling focus and it's draining your creative energy that you normally would be sending out a clearer signal towards what you want and you'd be receiving it, except that signal's very faint. And this traumatic signal is very strong and it keeps getting your attention and it keeps blocking you. So every time you want to be positive and you want to believe this good thing is on its way, but it's taking a little while and you're getting impatient and you don't know why you have to wait so long. And then something reminds you of that trauma again, and you're right back there thinking about that again and focusing on it again. And it's got you. It's got you all over again. So that quantum entanglement has to be healed. And the way you heal it is through feeling it without being scared of it, without being re-traumatized by it. And then once you have that healing, cathartic, understanding moment where you allow yourself to have your feelings privately, maybe with someone who you trust, so you can talk it out. And for me, cry it out. I mean, there's an ugly cry and then there's a good cry, and sometimes an ugly cry is a good cry. And today and yesterday, I had very good cries. I had a good cry yesterday and a good cry today. I don't know if they weren't totally like heaving, trying to get air, ugly cries. No, they were more very gentle and beautiful. So it felt very cathartic to make some intellectual connections that led to emotional realizations, that led to a cathartic release of some very negative thoughts and beliefs that I had. I had some very negative things to say about myself. and what I really believed I deserved. And it was a lot of punishment and that I thought I deserved. I thought that I'd done many things wrong that deserved punishing and I needed to atone. And I couldn't have what I wanted until I made things right. And then it made me realize that in the process of making things right, if that's my intention, then that's what will happen. But in the meantime, if I'm going back to the trauma and re experiencing the trauma and staying sad and small and stuck in embarrassment and humiliation and shame and guilt, I'm ruining my present moment and my future for the people who depend on me now. And a lot of people depend on me for their well being. So I can't let them down because then I'm going to create more guilt and more shame and the feeling that I'm not worthy, and I'll think I deserve more punishment. So I'm only going to make things worse unless I stop that guilt-ridden behavior and start focusing on solutions and healing. That's why it's so important to forgive yourself and others and work your way through the feelings and figure out solutions and really fix things, really atone for them, really make amends, make it right. Even if it's just inside of you, where you process it and you think about it and you take the blame and you say, I'm not a victim. I made a mistake. And me sitting here feeling like I've been victimized is taking all my power and my energy and my focus and putting it somewhere very weak where I can't manifest from that spot, from that energy. And if I'm feeling really bad about how I treated someone, or so there's two ways about this. There's I feel bad because someone treated me poorly and they owe me, and I have a resentment and I feel like a victim, or I hurt someone and now I feel really bad and I'm obsessing over it and all I want to do is make it right and make amends and say I'm sorry, but it might cause more harm than good, so I don't know how to go about that. And you see, there's a lot of energy, a lot of thought going into, a lot of emotion going into that whole exchange of guilty energy. And if you focus on that, you're just going to get more of it. Your focus is going to be over here and you're going to miss what's happening over here that the universe is trying to guide you to through outer intention, to meet up with everybody who has the same inner intention. And you get the point now. So if I'm over here with this inner intention that is guilt-ridden, then I'm influencing my outer intention to bring me more people and circumstances that will make me feel guilty and make me feel shame and make me feel victimized and make me angry and want revenge and want justice. Either way, there's an imbalance of energy going on if I'm focused on that. So, and you can't ignore it. You can try and refocus your energy elsewhere, but there's going to be this nagging, deep set belief that has to be dealt with. So if you feel stuck and you feel like I'm doing all the manifestation stuff and I'm listening to all the experts and I'm doing everything they're saying and I'm doing my positive affirmations and I'm writing everything down and I've got my, mantra on when I'm walking and jogging and I'm meditating and nothing is working, it's probably because you haven't been feeling your real deep, dark, shameful, guilty feelings and letting yourself off the hook. Really forgiving yourself for being human, making a mistake. And obviously, if you hurt someone else and you're that obsessed over it, you really do feel bad and you're hurting yourself as much as you've hurt this other person. And then if you're a victim, don't re-victimize yourself. Don't let that person hurt you all over again by obsessing over it. So you've got to find a way to resolve those feelings and those issues and heal from that. That is imperative. It is paramount. It is the most important work you can do in your quest to manifest. It's probably the number one thing that is blocking you and stopping you from manifesting. And I'm going to do a little public service announcement here. Some will call it a shameless plug, but honestly, this comes from a good place. My intention is to help. If you are feeling constantly stuck, and my videos and other videos are helping you, but you can't reach that next level. Sometimes you just can't do it by yourself. And if you don't have anyone in your life who is good at this kind of thing, or if you don't have anyone you trust enough with your secrets or your guilt or your shame, basically, if you don't have anyone you can really talk to, I would love to be your coach. I would love to help you any way I can. So I've added a link to all my videos, this one included, and just click on the link and contact me through Calendly, schedule a free one-on-one call with me. And I think that after even one session with me, you're going to feel better and you're going to have amazing results. And you're going to want to work with me for a longer period of time to manifest what you really want and make your dreams come true. I have recently been called a miracle worker, and that's very exciting because people are noticing that the people I'm coaching are manifesting their dreams into reality, and I'm manifesting my dreams into reality, and it really is happening. And it's a ripple effect. So when you get this on a really deep spiritual soul level, and your heart is in alignment with what you truly desire, and you turn hope, want and desire and hope into intention, then it turns into manifestation. And I would love to help you on this journey. I would love to be your guide. So I am actually a teacher and a professor. Not currently. I took a year off from teaching, but I do have 2 master's degrees, and one of them is in teaching, and I do curriculum development, and some say I'm a pretty good teacher. So I've been a coach, and both for sports and for personal coaching. So I've got a lot of experience with one-on-one coaching and one-on-one and group teaching. And what I'm putting together is a digital ebook, and it'll also be drop shipped for paper copy. Eventually an audio, we'll get that recorded. And a curriculum and a community. So you can go through steps and join my community and get help at whatever level you're comfortable with. And those come with one weekly live session for Q&A. Whereas my one-on-one coaching, you get 1 hour a week all to yourself. And then the same week, at the beginning of the week is the 1 hour one-on-one coaching session and some homework. And at the end of the week, you get a 30-minute follow-up session for questions and report on progress and for accountability. So much like a weight loss program, if you are touching base with your personal trainer 2 or 3 times a week, and you're doing what they tell you to do when you're not in front of them at the gym, and you're following the diet and exercise program, you're going to see great results very quickly. So the same thing, that makes a huge difference when you're working one-on-one with someone who has a little more experience than you and is further down the path than you. And it's inspirational because I worked with people and they've gotten me to this point, and I have my own mentors and coaches who help me, and then I can turn around and help other people. You can too. So after you receive this information and you process it and you become your own expert and you have great results, then yes, you should, if you feel that desire within you and it becomes a want, and then we put some hope on it, and then it's an intention, then you launch your own YouTube channel and live Twitch stream and Amazing You, and then you get to help people. Because think about it, there are billions of people on this planet who need help. So if each one of us can wake up and become aware and start manifesting what we desire and overcoming our trauma and healing and living beautiful lives, peaceful, loving, grateful, beautiful lives, then if all of us can do this, we'll change the world. We will be the change we want to see in this world. We will truly have a new earth, as Eckhart Tolle says. So I highly recommend this way of living. And I highly recommend that you, if not me, if you resonate with another coach, go for it. So whoever you choose, just definitely, if you feel that desire within you and you feel blocked and you feel like, I can't do this on my own, I need help, then reach out and get the help you need. Now, back to what we were saying. For those of you who just want to watch this video and try something and see if it works and do it on your own, I'm going to give you the next step. When you have gone through want, desire, and you're now feeling a bit desperate, processing your emotions, you might experience a cathartic cry, a moment of malaise, and maybe slight depression. Hopefully, you don't slip too far into it. You can hopefully bounce back with the use of hope. That's why hope is so important. We don't want to wallow in self-pity. We don't want to get stuck in depression. We want to feel our feelings and truly process them. And once we get through processing these emotions as they come up, as we shine a light on them, as we focus our attention on them, when we work through them and we heal and release, that's what Abraham says. We're releasing our blocks and we're starting to allow. We're allowing the manifestation to happen. It's not that the seeing stuff on the outside is the last step. All the other things have to happen within you first. And you'll have these revelatory moments of epiphanous realization. And you'll be amazed at the knowledge that the depth of knowledge that you're going to come to know and understand your own heart and your own soul and your own internal motivations, and really start to give yourself that hug that you've always needed, and that sense of unconditional love. It's a beautiful process. It's intense and emotional, but so worth it. I really can't say it enough. It is really worth it to have your eyes open to a new truth about yourself and be more in control of your choices and your emotions and your behavior and your reactions to people, places, things, circumstances. When you can start seeing bad news as good and silver linings everywhere and opportunities where you used to get scared or paralyzed with anxiety or fear or procrastination, and now suddenly you're taking micro action and it is divinely inspired and everything is in divine order and divine timing. It is a whole new way of living, a whole new way of being when you're guided by source. You just feel so loved and taken care of and special. And then realizing that everyone has access to this. Everyone gets to feel special if they just tap into it. And we can help them do that. It's so exciting. I love doing this. I love sharing this. I think it's the most valuable, most important thing that humans can do, is share unconditional love and acceptance and the knowledge of how to feel this and how to truly understand it and believe it in a very deep way, not faking it and just doing affirmations. Now, let me give you a caveat here, a very friendly piece of advice. It is okay to fake it until you really feel it. It is totally okay to simply be going through the motions, trying to survive, trying to get through your day. You barely get through your meditation. You're distractible and irritable. You're depressed or anxious, and you're just barely keeping it together and getting through a day. That's okay. Do not judge yourself. Go easy. Be gentle with yourself and really understand that this is a process. It takes the time it takes. So if you're doing the work and you're doing the affirmations and you're doing the meditation and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, allow yourself the time it takes. It's okay. It is okay to not feel it all the time, to not believe it all the time. It's totally okay. It will come. The authenticity will come. Your soul is programmed for it. Your heart will lead you to it. Trust your emotions. And what feels bad, and don't try to change it. Try to heal it. Try to understand it, because that's your heart speaking to you. It's your soul speaking to you. It's source speaking to you. When something feels bad, pay attention to it and recognize why. Why does it feel bad? Because I'm being taken advantage of? Because I'm allowing that? Because I'm disconnected from myself and my passion? Because I'm not getting enough time with people I love? Whatever it is, the answer will come, but it'll start with, I'm feeling bad. Maybe I'm being too hard on myself and others. Maybe I'm too quick to judge. Maybe I'm starting fights, or I'm overreacting to something somebody's saying and I'm being too sensitive and my ego's too involved. Those kind of revelatory things happen when you shine a spotlight on yourself and you stay present in the moment, and you start to understand what you don't want versus what you do want, what you desire, what you need, what you're desperate for, what you're hoping for. All of those emotions are so relevant and powerful and necessary. And then what do you do with all of it after you've processed it, and after you've had a cathartic cry and you're feeling a little bit shaky? You feel like you've been tossed about on an open sea and your tempest has thrown you about, and now you're a little shaky, and you can tell I was an English professor, and and now you gotta stand back on, you gotta get your sea legs about you, and then so finally you're back on solid ground and you're like, okay, I feel better. Now what? Okay, the most magical thing happens, and I can't even tell you how or why. This is just the magic of manifestation. If you do all that work leading up to this point of hopeful gratitude, and then you relax and you forgive yourself and you just allow yourself some time to process where you're at, process those calmer emotions, this beautiful thing happens. This quiet knowing just sets in. It just starts to overwhelm you in a good way. It bubbles up from within you, and it's way beyond confidence. There's nothing cocky about it. It's really a humbling feeling. But you just feel so safe and enveloped by Source. You just feel loved and secure, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful sense of support. And all of a sudden, what you used to be wary of or nervous about or have anxiety about or wonder how is this going to happen, all those thoughts are quiet, and you're just left with this knowing that you're allowed to have exactly what you want, and it'll come in divine time. It's already there. It's already yours. And when you know that it's yours, you have it, suddenly you act with intention. Intention is so beyond confidence. You don't have to convince yourself of it. You don't have to lie to yourself. It's authentic. It just feels good. It feels right. It feels like the real, authentic you coming through every pore of your being, every breath you take, every word you utter is absolutely infused with this feeling of knowing. And that is the power of intention. When you intend to do something, it's already done. The intention manifests the power that causes it to happen and show up in the real world, the material world that we can see and touch and interact with. That is what causes the magic. It's your intention that does it. It's amazing. Absolutely awe-inspiring. Beautiful. Really beautiful. When you see the inner mechanism of the universe at work within you, and then you see it in others, and then you start to see and feel the connectivity of all humans on earth because of Source connecting all of us and working its magic inside and outside and around us and through us and binding us together, bringing us together for the common good. It is beautiful. It is miraculous. It is humbling. And let me tell you, you just want more. And do I still get restless while I'm waiting? Yes. And so I have found fun ways to distract myself, like talking to you good people. These videos really are helping me to stay focused and have something productive to do while I'm waiting for the next thing to manifest. So there you go. And that is why I would love to help you, because I can give you this information in 1,000 more videos and it'll be helpful and you will learn. And other people can give you all this information in their videos. And I watch them all the time. I listen to audiobooks every day. I watch YouTube every day to stay in tune, to stay on top of it. So these videos are incredibly important, incredibly helpful. They're daily reminders. They should be a part of your daily affirmation. Until you can get a nice, calm, peaceful, quiet mind, you should be listening to positive things that remind you of what you're supposed to be thinking about and how you're supposed to be focusing and what you're supposed to be focusing on. So these are valuable videos. It's just sometimes you need a little bit more. You need a little bit more, and you want to manifest faster, and you want to feel better faster. And that is why joining a community or getting one-on-one coaching is so important, and it can accelerate your growth. I was struggling on my own for like 3 years. And then once I got coaching and joined a community, skyrocketed. My results just not even tripled, way beyond that. And I was like, oh, this is the element I was missing. Because it's sometimes hard to find like-minded people in your area until you're really good at manifesting and you're really emitting the frequency that attracts like-minded individuals, helpful people. When you're in the beginning stages of it, it can be really frustrating. It can be really hard. And you need people to catch you in your negative thinking, in your way of speaking, and coach you into, hey, this would be a better way to phrase that. Hey, it seems like you're stuck on this. You really keep harping on this. Let's discuss where you're feeling like a victim and why. Let's get deeper into how that resentment that you're holding, or let's talk about that fear that's holding you back. Let's talk about your anxiety. What's making you sad? What is it you need to give to yourself so you can get to that next level? So if you want to do it on your own, cool. I do a lot on my own. That's awesome. And if you want coaching, that's just going to help you get there faster. So I just don't want you to be frustrated. I don't want you to give up. I don't want you to say this manifestation stuff doesn't work because you feel stuck and frustrated, because that would be true. If you say it doesn't work, then it's true and it won't work for you. You're stopping it. And if you are frustrated and you desperately want it to work, that's a horrible feeling too, because then you're really trying your hardest and you're giving it a lot of effort and getting nowhere. And that's really demotivating and demoralizing. So we don't want that, right? We want you to feel happy immediately. The sooner the better. We want you to stay in a serene, peaceful, grateful, happy state. We want you to experience bliss. And you're thinking, we? There's only you, Erin. This is all I'm seeing on the screen. But no, it is you and me. You and I. You and I, we want you to feel better. We both want you to feel better. So sometimes you just need a friend. You just need a partner to manifest your bliss. So if you need me, I'm here for you. I would love to be your friend. I would love to help you. So don't be intimidated by price. I used to do that. I used to hold myself back and use money as an excuse, and I'm working my way through those pockets of unworthiness. And I'm not telling you to go out and spend crazy amounts of money either. That would be irresponsible. No. There's a nice middle ground, a very nice middle ground of affordable help. And I've learned from a lot of the coaches that I've worked with and a lot of the programs that I've paid for that have been incredibly helpful. I've learned something really positive from each one. But I think that I'm putting together something really special, and it's my favorite of everything that I've done. So my favorite way of coaching, and my favorite way of having a community, and my favorite way of having a curriculum. And I love doing this because I am a teacher, and I do think in curriculum. I think about, okay, what's the lesson? What do I want you to learn? And how am I going to get you there? So to me, this is a lot of fun. I love doing this. So if this is something that sounds like it's meant for you, you'll know it. You'll feel it. You'll hear that little inner voice whispering to you. And no one will be able to talk you into it, and no one will be able to talk you out of it. It's yours. So if this is what your inner guide is telling you to do, I'd be happy and honored to speak to you and see if it's a good fit. So please feel free to click on the link and book a session with me and see if I can help you. All right, so I'm going to go get some sleep and I'll be back again soon to share more with you. And until then, be well.